We argue a lot, and if we don't keep things under control, things can get pretty messy and lead to a fight. Some guys like to start fights because they can use their intimidating demeanor to bully someone who is much weaker than them. It's easy to get into a fight, but it's not so easy to defend yourself, especially if your opponent is better prepared. But Sigma men are pretty good at defending themselves when they are in a conflict. They make it look so simple that it seems like they aren't even trying. Even though they hate arguing, they can't avoid it, so they've learned how to protect themselves from bullies and others who want to take advantage of them. If you want to know how they do it, here are 10 ways that Sigma males easily win any argument. 1. They first call attention to any untruth. Sigma men listen more than they talk when they are in an argument. This gives them a leg up on the other team. Many people think that talking is the best way to defend yourself in an argument, but Sigma men prefer to listen carefully to what the other person has to say. So when they are misquoted, it is easy for them to notice and they can quickly point it out. If someone tries to use a Sigma's words in a different way, a Sigma male will quickly respond and point out the mistake so that the other person can't use their words to say something else. Most of the time, these men don't say anything, which makes their opponents think they're winning. Sigma men, on the other hand, know that talking is not the only way to win. Even though they don't talk a lot, they know how to listen and watch. This gives them the advantage of knowing what their opponents are trying to do, so they can be ready to catch any misquotes. 2. They keep an eye out for rude interruptions. Imagine trying to explain something, but every time you start, someone cuts you off. When they do this over and over again, you get angry and give up. Some people use these ways to shut down their opponents when they are in an argument. By doing this, they force their will on other people and don't even give them a chance to fight back. Sigma males, on the other hand, will never let that happen. They won't just stand there and let someone talk over them before they say anything important. People expect Sigmas to be shy and weak when they attack them, but they are nothing like that. They are bold and courageous, and they're not afraid of anything. If someone keeps interrupting them, they will tell that person to stop and make sure that doesn't happen again. Sigma men want to be able to say what they want when they have something to say. They don't like it when people talk over them. Sigma males are not afraid and will stand up to people who do that. They never let anyone hurt them in any way, and they won't let it happen in a fight. 3. They figure out what is happening before it's too late. The Sigma's best weapon is his mind, which always puts him ahead of everyone else. People who pick up fights have a reason for doing so. Before they go after their target, they make sure they can win. However, if your target is a Sigma, things might not be as easy as you think. Sigma men are good at picking out patterns and putting them together. They use how their opponents talk or act to figure out if something else is being planned before it happens. Sigmas won't make a quick choice if their opponent is trying to force them to do something they would normally avoid. They know their opponent is trying to force them by putting pressure on them. No matter the reason for the fight, these men know that nothing just happens. Whoever started the fight had a good reason to do so. Sigma males wouldn't fight with anyone alone, but if provoked, they won't let themselves be used. 4. Even when provoked, they remain calm and confident. When two people disagree, they often go to great lengths to prove themselves right, even if that means stepping on the other person's toes. But when they are upset, Sigma males don't get angry. They keep their cool and say what's on their minds. They won't go off track to fight back. Instead, they just try to show that they are right. They know that if they take the bait, they could lose all the progress they've made in the conversation. People will forget everything else they've said and pay attention to how they react to the provocation. In an argument, normal people will respond to any provocation, but Sigma males keep their confidence level high. They know that their rival's move was just a cheap shot, so they won't fall for it. Some people purposely make a fight because they know the other person will lose their cool and do something bad. When this happens, they act like they were wrong and everyone else believes them. This trick has been used many times to get people to stop paying attention, and it usually works. Sometimes it's not on purpose, but it usually works out well for the person who starts it. But when the person is met with calmness, people can see right away what is going on. and the plan backfires. When Sigma men get into a fight, they use this as a way to defend themselves. 5. They are not easily intimidated or bullied. A Sigma man doesn't worry about being picked on. He's called the lone wolf because he can take care of himself without anyone else's help, even dealing with bullies. Sigma men will never, for any reason, allow themselves to be scared. They are sure of themselves and don't care what other people say. In an argument, it's almost impossible to win over a Sigma. He won't give up, even when he knows he is right. Even though Sigma males are calm and kind, they are not the type of people you want to fight with. No matter how big the bully is, they won't give up. They want to be treated fairly in any argument they are in. They only want the truth and won't settle for anything else. No matter how smart or big their opponent is, they won't feel like they aren't good enough to stand up to them. They want fairness and justice because they believe in them. Think twice before picking a fight with a Sigma. He won't let anyone scare him or pick on him in any way. He will make sure that everything stays even. 6. They notice when something doesn't make sense. Sigma males have a lot of brains. They can also watch things very well. They pay close attention to what's going on in their argument. It doesn't matter to them if they win or lose. All they want is for things to go the right way. They look for holes in the logic of their opponents and use them to shut them up. When they see something that isn't right, they bring it up to defend themselves. Sigma men are very perceptive, so it's easy for them to see when something doesn't make sense. When they find something like this, they will use it to protect themselves whenever needed. They won't let themselves be made to look bad. Their opponents are often surprised when they do this because they think no one can see such small holes. On the other hand, Sigma men are so careful that nothing gets by them without noticing. They will say things like this when confronted, leaving their opponent speechless. 7. They acknowledge one another and come to an understanding. Sigma males don't like fighting, so they'll do whatever it takes to stop it as soon as possible. This means finding something that they and their rivals can agree on so that they can find a way to end things. Even if a Sigma doesn't agree with everything his opponent says, he will accept it to end the argument if they bring up something they both agree on. But this is in no way a sign of weakness. No matter what the other person says or does, Sigma men are not afraid. All they want is to find a middle ground so they don't have to keep arguing and wasting time. People sometimes don't want to agree with each other because they think it will make them look weak. But in reality, it's a better way to end things and save yourself all the trouble. Even if they don't agree with their competitors on everything, Sigma men know that everyone has a different point of view. Still, they'll agree on things they have in common and find a way to work together. 8. They project a confident body language. When Sigma males get into a fight, they don't just talk back, they also use their bodies. They stand or move in a way that doesn't make the other person feel threatened. They want to show that they don't want to fight and should just stop there. They won't try to scare their opponent or act like they don't care about the debate. When people feel like they are being ignored or played with during an argument, they get angry and things start to get worse. Even if the comment wasn't serious or about the person, the disrespect could make things worse. Positive body language makes it seem like you're interested in what's going on, which can sometimes make things less stressful. Sigma men use this method a lot when they are in an argument because it helps them settle things faster. 9. They stay away from illogical thinking. Sigma males are not extremists. They're open to new ideas and realize that things aren't always as black and white as most people make them out to be. They have an open mind and will agree with ideas and points of view that make sense. They won't stick to their opinions just because they think they are right. When something is important and true, Sigma men will change their thoughts. They don't think there is a clear line between black and white. They know there is always some gray area in between. This is why they are so good at putting an end to fights and other problems. Before they say something, they think about what could happen and consider everything else. This makes them calm, which is something most people like about Sigma men. 10. They put facts first rather than taking things personally. Sigma males are not the type of people who let things bother them. They don't care if their thoughts and ideas are questioned. Facts are what they care about. If they are wrong, they admit it and make the necessary changes. They won't stick to their old ideas just because they've been hurt. Sigma men pick up on things quickly and don't want to make the same mistakes twice. All you need is the truth to change the Sigma's mind. Even if they get hurt in a fight, they see it as a way to grow and become better people. During the debate, Sigma males pay attention to the little things. They don't pay attention to small talk meant to make them feel less confident. They stick to the facts and keep their emotions in check the whole time. Taking something personally can turn a conversation into a fight, so Sigma males will try to keep their feelings in check and only talk about what's important.